You are listening to episode 33 of the Underhook Show. My name is Steve, as always, alongside my co-host Chris. Chris, how you doing on this Thursday evening?
Good, pretty good. A little chilly out. We're in the midst of winter here, but good. Ready to talk the wrestling. Ready to talk Continental Classic action. It was a good night of wrestling last night.
Yeah, I think they very much settled into a groove with the tournament season. I'm gonna primarily focus on that. Outside of that, though, did you watch anything else over in the last week?
I saw Dominic Mysterio versus John Cena, which was pretty. Like that's the match I wanted to see, so I did get to see that. I saw highlights of everything else on Survivor Series, but no, I didn't really catch anything else going into Dynamite. Just do want to say R.I.P. Larry Sky
Yeah,
went to the big dog. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But no, how about you, man?
Uh, Not anything current. Chipping away at the 2025 watch list, and I am at the end of April, so only 8 more months to go until I start the big list. But just diligently chipping away at that. You saw the feedback on Survivor Series, and I think the best indictment is when WWE's core audience is saying it's pretty bad. It's probably pretty bad, you know.
Yeah.
So
Hey, but Austin Theory, huh? Huh?
was that who it was?
That's who they say. Listen, they said Austin Theory or Jericho. We've all seen Jericho. There, not no
Yeah,
shame,
you would have seen something hanging out.
bro. There ain't no way he's climbing up that cage that diligently. All right,
Yeah.
no way. And if it is Austin Theory, I mean that's kind of like what they're saying. I mean, I don't. I'm not against it. I mean, not my guy. I don't watch it enough to be invested, I guess, enough. But I remember when I did watch it, I didn't really care for him as much. But someone out there probably does.
I'm just totally not tapped in. I can't give a opinion either way on anything WWE right now. But I did say as a joke that they would find a way for Punk to take the pin in War Games,
Yeah, I mean,
and he did. So
he's the champion. I mean,
mhm.
not one of the Usos. They could have took that pin. And
Yeah,
and second, isn't War Game supposed to be like
submission or
submit?
surrender, baby.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. Carry on. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I mean, other than that, elsewhere in the world, Claudio and the Yuta Garcia team did Friday, Saturday in Mexico.
yeah, new champ.
Yeah. Which I'll clarify this now. I could have said this later, but I'll just say it now. So when you see like World Heavyweight Champion in CMLL, it does not equate to like World Heavyweight Champion in like AEW or New Japan, right? Like
Yeah,
they are very much by weight class and not by like a position on the card, so to speak. So while don't get me wrong, it's awesome that he is. It's like that, for example, Mystico cannot challenge for that belt. He's in a different weight class.
so you like boxing kind of.
Yeah. So like he wrestled Gran Guerrero, who's a bigger dude, and then he's defending next Friday. He's defending against Ultimo Guerrero, and also on that show they're doing Jet Speed versus El Sky Team singles matches. So they're doing Kevin Knight versus Neon, which would be awesome, and then Speedball versus Mascara Dorada, which should also be awesome.
Is Ultimo Guerrero the dude with the black mullet?
Yep, and
Yes.
he fucking
Yes.
rocks.
Yes, I'm tuning in. I'm gonna watch that one. I know that guy. See, look at
Dude,
me.
he's like one of my favorite wrestlers, and it's so good wherever you put him, and he's like in his mid-50s and
I'm about to say like he's
thugging it
older
out.
too. The clips of the match though for Claudio, I don't. Sorry, what was his opponent's name?
Gran Guerrero.
Gran Guerrero looked pretty
Yeah.
dope though. I mean, I'm gonna have to go try to lock back in and see if I can watch that.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'll get there when I get there, but I just want to point that out. There's some cool things going on right now. Things in Japan are kind of quiet before Tokyo Dome time, Iten Yong, as they say. So, and then obviously the Fed had Survivor Series. So, in a kind of weird period, but I think what AEW has done so well in that time is this tournament. Like, I feel like it kind of glues together what's traditionally a lull in the calendar. Now it's some of the, at least, most efficient TV they've done. Before we get to Dynamite, I think we should introduce a new segment to the show, which I will throw in some sort of news bulletin music. Time for the Collision Roundup.
Collision Roundup. This is all you, my friend, because you probably locked in more than I did.
Thanksgiving Collision, I did not watch every segment, but I made sure to watch the tournament matches for sure, as well as Daniel Garcia versus Matt Menard, which of course Matt Menard bladed because that's what he does, and it was pretty sick. Garcia Briscoe title feud moves me. I'm very much here for that, which that is announced for next week. Mark Briscoe's first defense of the TNT title, I should say. And then Speedball Pack, really awesome. Just a total blast of a fireworks show. Roddy Takeshita is exactly what you would expect it to be. They carried their momentum from last Wednesday's tournament matches right into Thursday, and I've just been having a great time with it.
Was Pac wearing a singlet? Ah, perfect. Boom. I think I would tune in just for that. We figured it out. I think he only wears the not singlet during pay-per-views. You got to spend $50 to see the abs.
Yeah, it's behind the paywall, but yeah, I'm definitely watching every single tournament match, like no matter what. So I will be chipping in with those before we get into the root of the issue, which every week on the show has been AEW Dynamite. This time, the December 3rd edition coming from Fishers, Indiana, which is Indy area, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, when I looked it up, it was like 2.5 hours-ish, 3 hours away.
Okay.
Because I was very intrigued about this Mox and Claudia.
Yeah, which I can't wait to talk about that. But, right, I'm going to, some dead air I'll cut out. Yeah, show opens, we get an in-ring promo for what feels like the first time in a long time. Not necessarily like Joe's been doing the in-ring promos, but I mean like champion challenger, face-to-face on Dynamite to build. I feel like we've been doing a lot of pre-tapes over the last couple of months. So, Joe, Eddie, obviously I think I would have wished for them to have a little bit more vitriol in their words, but it's a Samoa Joe, Eddie Kingston live promo. I think this accomplished what it needed to. I don't know if you had anything on the segment.
Normal Eddie Kingston promo. Similar to what he did to Mox, similar to what he did to Cody Rhodes, Punk, all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for the match, though, because these are two of my dogs, so.
Oh, yeah, and I didn't even talk about Eddie's promo on the Thanksgiving Collision was phenomenal.
If you put a microphone in that man's hand, it's not going to be anything less than that, so.
Yeah, but it was fantastic. I think he's so good at just these short-term builds. Like you were talking about the Punk one, for example. That was like a 2-week program from him getting pissed off backstage to the Full Gear match. Here, it's something similar. I think this is like taking place 3 weeks after the pay-per-view. So, yeah, Eddie can heat something up real quick. Joe is Joe. Like, he's just good at everything. So, very excited for this one. Obviously, I know some people still have their reservations with Eddie Kingston, but it's like, dude, I don't think they would put him in a world title match if he was unable to perform.
Yeah, I guarantee this is like Joe probably asked for this. I guarantee, he's like, hey, let's do this. And it's gonna be a good. I guarantee it's gonna be for fans of old Ring of Honor. Yep. Here we are, baby. We're locked in.
Yep. Yeah, this is very much for the boys. Yeah, then so they open with that, and they waited to do the whole like 5-minute card breakdown. But that kind of gave us some space between opening segment and first Continental Classic match. But before that, I thought that Ops promo directly after the Joe segment was just too long.
It was long and weird. Yeah. I get what they're trying to make Hook like the vocal point, but shorten it a little bit. And you said Ring of Honor was last night, and it confused me.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that.
Yeah, but I will say, shout out to my dogs, the Dark Order, for getting some TV time. All right.
Yeah, and it's always a nice way to fold them into like whatever Hangman's got going on. No Swerve this week though. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I will say my buddy was here. Josh was here. And when he heard Dark Order, he started busting up laughing. But then I had to remind him they're friends with Hangman. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get to that match later though.
Opening contest of the evening, Gold League match, Pac versus Kazuchika Okada. Their second match in around a year and a half. Unfortunately, did not think this lived up to their first match on pay-per-view, but it's also, I think, both these guys are different wrestlers from that point, primarily since they're both like out-and-out heel. Like that was very much big match Okada versus
Beefed up by like,
yeah, that too.
yeah. I'm glad that, I mean, for me, it didn't get in like out of first gear, maybe. But I will say I do like Pac using that clothesline instead of the red arrow or whatever that thing was called in.
Yeah, black arrow, red arrow,
Yeah,
green
but
jacket, gold jacket.
yeah, who gives a shit? But no, like I'm just glad because like I just feel like at his mass now, him doing that and his injury prone, I'm glad he found a move that's like good for him to use.
Yeah, when in doubt, throw a lariat. I loved the tease where he was running the ropes and then Okada just like noped out. He's like, "No, fuck this."
Yeah,
It seemed like it opened where they were cordial, like they were keeping it all like strictly business. And then Okada just flipped the switch and was just being such a petty asshole during this match, and I loved it.
that that brain buster from Pac off the rope though. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. There's some glimpses there still. I think these two actually have really good chemistry, but maybe it's just wasn't all I wanted it to be. Kind of similar to last week with Fletcher, although they based that match around the two kind of trying to cheat around one another.
yeah.
But it was interesting because coming into tonight, I think this is why this match went first. All three Death Riders come in undefeated, or all three that are in the tournament come in undefeated, 1-0. That obviously mathematically would be impossible for them to leave. So then it turns into, is Okada going to go 0-2, or is Pac eating his first loss? And lo and behold, he did. It was a nice heads up kind of roll through of the brutalizer submission, and that works for me. I think with Pac's moveset though, it goes back to what we were talking about. I think it was when we were talking about the pay-per-view, where I don't know if him slowing down or not necessarily slowing down, but just having a more grounded style, if that plays off of the injury, if that plays off of the character change, But I think either reason works. Maybe it's both, so maybe one necessitates the other. But yeah, fine match, not everything we wanted it to be, but Okada's on the board now, and we kind of figured he would have to at some point.
Oh yeah, for what we're assuming is going to be the main event
Mm-hmm.
for the finals. I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then you get some conglomeration stuff going on, or is this just Mark Hogan?
This is just the Mark Briscoe one. I understand why you'd be confused because it goes this, something else, and then right back to the conglomeration.
So this one is taking place so it's not on the Dynamite Winners coming, it's going to be on the Collision, which that Collision's not in the same building, it's going to be in Wales, so that's where he came up with the line, the international ass whooping. But yeah, I'm here for this feud, man. I think they had a really good match in January, and I don't see why anything would be different now. And on top of that, Garcia is in a much different place now with his presentation and his booking. And I think for these two to just have a really good wrestling match as baby faces, now that he's clearly a heel, there would just be more of a natural balance there. And Mark Briscoe's like the easiest wrestler to cheer for, So
Absolutely.
So
and
really looking forward to that.
This would be a good first defense for him too.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking too, and maybe this is wishful thinking for the show, because they do this with Briscoe, I feel like, to where he'll have a match on TV and then they'll immediately run it back on pay-per-view. Because they did that with MJF, with Fletch,
yeah.
and then now with Garcia, and I'm like, I wouldn't mind if this is kind of a month-long sort of feud, but if it's not, just run the open challenges, man. Can't go wrong.
Challenges and give us something good for Chicago or out in the States.
Yeah. Promos continue. Ricochet, I saw he was announced for Ring of Honor. He didn't have an opponent last week. He does now. It's going to be Ricochet versus Dalton.
Go.
Ricochet, Dalton Castle tomorrow night, which that actually sounds sick.
Dalton Castle is one of the boys now because he runs with the boys. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Tune it into that.
Real interesting matchup on paper, too. I think we'll go through the final battle card a little bit later. But it's pretty exciting because I feel like Dalton Castle just hasn't been around at all.
I want him on TV. Get him on Dynamite. Get the Outrunners on Dynamite. Give me something. Get him on Collision. But
yeah, I mean, even with his injury history, he's still really good.
Yeah, injury. And then if put him on commentary just one time, he's funny. He's a good, but
Yeah, real clever dude.
man, yeah, I'm just happy to see him. Didn't care for this promo though because I tuned out, to be honest. But they said the demand way too much for my liking.
I don't know if that's like subliminal or not, but we've been seeing a lot of Ricochet lately. But I want to see more of our guys. You know, where Gates of Agony at?
They'll be there, don't worry.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now we go to the conglomeration.
Yes, this was a lot of promos in between matches. They basically filled the whole gap with pre tapes. This one between OC and Roddy because that is their next draw in the table. Which this is going to be their third match, if I'm not mistaken, at least in AEW. At Revolution last year, phenomenal match, and they had a really nice TV match in the spring. I want to say before OC got hurt. So I don't see why they couldn't do it again on Saturday.
I can't wait.
Blue League, dude.
Roddy finally said, enough of this kitty bullshit.
When you take the leash off of that man, it ain't gonna be pretty.
It's gonna be good because, like you said, they've always had good chemistry, and now Roddy's pissed, and he's got a mustache, so
Look out.
Anything's possible, man.
Kevin Garnett style, man.
And then we get footage of Darby Allin. I knew he was fucked up. I knew it, bro. I knew it. When he took that drop kick, I said, he don't look right. But
yeah, so if it's like anything to do with the head, obviously you need to tend to that accordingly and be careful. With Darby, though, I mean, I don't think they said anything confirmed as far as the diagnosis, but like, this is the man who got hit by a bus and then showed up to TV.
My man got power bombed in a body bag, border tossed.
Yeah, so remains to be seen. I think they said they'll have an update on Saturday because Collision is live, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're doing like same building. They're doing Final Battle on Friday, Collision on Saturday. So that's a wait and see, which would really suck because I feel like he was a focal point of the tournament with all the Death Rider stuff. So that's a shame, and just hope he gets cleared and then everything's safe and sound, you know.
Absolutely.
But speaking of his opponent from last week, Kevin Knight versus Kyle Fletcher in the Gold League, and man, I figured this would be a breakout for Kevin Knight, but it only took 2 matches for him to have like everybody's attention.
My buddy kept telling me about, because like I said, I didn't really know much about Kevin Knight, but he kept telling me that, he's that dog, because he loved New Japan, so he told me about him,
Mm-hmm.
So I've been highly impressed with everything I've seen so far coming in, and now I'm glad he's getting that singles run instead of being in jet speed.
Yeah, and it always felt like he had like a ceiling on him in New Japan, just because you have to make, you have to graduate and then you have to make the jump from junior heavyweight to heavyweight, and he never did. Thing with AEW is, and it wasn't that he couldn't, it was just how things timed out with his contract and all that, But the thing with AEW is you don't necessarily have to be a quote-unquote heavyweight to be a main focus of the promotion, you know what I mean? House style certainly fits him. He's growing as a performer, not just obviously with all the insane shit that he could do, but if you look at what he did with Fletcher here, like, and this plays into
This
so
match
much.
Ruled.
Yeah, this match did rule, and this plays into so much of what I've been praising Fletcher for all year. Was like, Fletcher was taking time to showboat, and then he would eat shit, and it wouldn't just be like, Kevin Knight would get the upper hand on him. Kevin Knight would get the upper hand on him by like jumping 60 feet in the air.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
he made Kyle like wrestle out of his style too. But Kyle, Kyle's good at what I like to call chameleon wrestling, where he can adapt real quick. And Kyle's become one of my favorites. I think like Kyle Fletcher has become one of my favorites, like my top, because I liked him and all. I'm a big United Empire guy.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really. I loved Aussie Open, but he was like little. I called him Little Osprey because he looked just like Osprey at first. But now, dude, he's like, my niece was over yesterday. This is the first time watching wrestling with me. Like she's never watched wrestling, so she was just hanging out, watch wrestling, and she saw Kyle Fletcher, and she was like, "Yeah, I don't know who that is, but that's the guy right there." I was like, yeah. I was like, "Yeah, this is the guy. This is the future." But this match kicked so much ass.
Yeah, I think they had a really nice sweet spot between just all of the explosions, but then obviously, like I brought up Fletcher stopping to flex, but then like when he did have to eat shit, like you could like he was wrestling like he was genuinely gotten to, and that vulnerability does go a long way. And in the end, it just makes Kevin Knight look better even in defeat. But that coast to coast becoming like a normal like a regular part of his offense, it will never not be insane to me, especially as that's the setup to his finisher.
Yeah, but man, Kevin 19 with Kushida, right?
Yep,
Okay,
international jet setters.
okay. Oh, yeah. See, I think that's when I started slowly like falling out of New Japan around that time. So I didn't
Hmm.
really like. But I think I did see him live. He was at one of those Chicago shows, right?
Yeah, the one this year. Yep.
Okay, okay, yeah. So I just have a horrible memory sometimes, but we're getting there.
I didn't pick apart too many spots here, but the one that did stand out to me in this match was that lawn dart was disgusting.
Yeah, I didn't write anything down other than
Hmm.
just kick ass.
Hmm.
But yeah, oh man, I want to see these guys again. Give me another one.
Yeah, and I think this was. I think last week was more of the. Obviously him and Darby could do the freak show stuff. This I think was more to show that Kevin can hang with the big boys. You know what I mean?
I mean, last week you got that some would consider an upset.
Hmm.
So and that right there proved like, hey, But now my question is, if Darby can't be in it, what happens now?
So last year when Juice went out,
Then they put Beast Mortos in it.
they put Commander in.
Commander. You know who they should put in this one?
The
Beast
Beast
Mortos.
Mortos. Yeah, yeah. Right. He should be in every tournament. But I mean, historically in round robin tournaments like this, if somebody gets injured, they just forfeit their matches and then everybody in their block gets 3 points.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, it was the first match, right? Or no? Like, it's both their
Yeah.
first matches. Yeah, so I mean, like, you could, but at this point, like, I would just call it null and void at that point, man, and just do what you said, have everyone get, I don't know.
It worked out in the booking. So obviously you don't want that to happen at all. But I think it worked out in the booking sense to where Kevin Knight gets the upset, so he gets 3 points. If you do have to cut Darby altogether, I mean, it all evens out. He didn't take points from anyone.
Yeah,
So everyone is on the playing field. You just have one less match to wrestle unless you are Kevin Knight. But
because
then I
it's
think that would also play into his kind of this upswell around him where he could
like the
tell people, I
underdog.
wrestled. Yeah, he goes, well, I wrestled more than anybody in my block, which would be true.
Have him and Leon Slater ever wrestled? That's something I want to see.
That
So,
is a great
sorry.
question.
That's just something I thought about because Leon Slater is also, man, that guy.
Let's take a look.
But yeah, I didn't really have much else while you looked that up. I didn't really have much else from this match.
Hmm.
Fletcher always has that nice Liger bomb. Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
And then, like, just that kick in the brain. But I love a good brain buster. So, shout out El Generico.
they have wrestled this year actually in the Jersey J Cup.
Shout out JCW. Okay.
Yeah, they got 12 minutes 45 seconds. That was back in February.
Okay.
Might have to go tap in.
I have to lock that to the list.
Leon Slater too, man. He's
Him and Javon Evans are the most insane tag team I've ever seen.
yeah, it's like just all the best up and coming high flyers.
That boy
Leon Slater
Bouncy.
definitely, yeah, Leon Slater definitely got my attention this year for sure.
Yeah, that match with him and Javon Evans, because we're Javon Evans dogs over here.
Hmm.
And like now they're teaming up, and I'm like, now the rumor is he's probably coming to NXT, which is awesome for him because that's more exposure, man. Like,
Yeah, do you know if they're gonna end the?
so the rumor I heard was after when preface
Hmm.
TNA got a deal with AMC, so they're gonna be on TV. So shout out to TNA, the company that keeps on ticking somehow.
Hmm.
Shout out, but what I read was that after they get on there, the partnership's gonna end with them too. So,
Gotcha.
but who knows? Anything's possible. Like Kevin Garnett again. Shout out.
Yeah, seems to be that might like save them from getting bought. You know,
Well, the rumor was the WWE was gonna buy him. So I mean,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
I for them WWE not buying him, I think in my eyes is better Well, I mean, like you have the money backing, but you won't have your company anymore. So still
Yeah,
wish.
I mean, you got Undertaker booking AAA right now, dude.
Hey, but there was some stuff on AAA that I thought was pretty dope.
Yeah,
If he is
I
booking that, I don't know, but like if he's,
I believe he's at least on the booking team if he's not running the show.
well, I mean, we're not going to get the Lucha Brothers now since Penta's hurt.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I was like, okay, finally, and then look what happened. Damn,
Yeah,
what happened? Do
Uh,
you know what happened to him?
Penta.
Yeah, did he land on his like arm or?
I think you told me like last week he like blew out his shoulder or something.
Yeah, like I couldn't remember if it was his shoulder or his neck, or because I know he landed like really funny, like on the against Solo. But in retrospect, it gave me a match I do want to go back and watch now though, with Solo and Gunther. But
Yeah, I heard good things, and I have not really ever been a Solo Sokoa guy, so I'll give it a shot though. I am gonna watch Gunther's tournament run. I mean, barring a disaster, he should be seen as last opponent, right?
well, absolutely, it ain't gonna be LA Knight. If it's LA Knight, respectfully, because I do like La Knight, but respectfully, it has to be Gunther. Like
Just feels
no,
like a missed opportunity to not be.
you make Gunther make them kids cry, okay? That's what I want. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
back to
That's
Wednesday night.
yeah. That's coming up quick though. I believe the final match is next week.
Yeah, I'm getting off work and I'm gonna tune in, man, because as much grief, I like John Cena, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think he.
yeah, like absolutely. Like, I was a Chain Gang guy back when that happened, but so I'm definitely tuning in to watch that.
Yeah, Chain Gang's the click, as we say. Yeah, he was like my first favorite wrestler. I think next week we should talk a little bit more, give a little Cena testimony,
Yeah,
if you will.
next week we'll do a John Cena shout out segment.
Yeah, but my like intro to watching wrestling on the weekly was watching SmackDown with my brother, and it was like February of 2005, like right before he, like
Dude,
they the rocket was strapped, they just didn't light it yet.
I would do anything to be a kid experiencing that time frame again. Or not even a kid, just like a wrestling fan in general experiencing 2005 SmackDown. Because that's where I'm at now, like when I'm not watching this random like 90s stuff. I'll put
Hmm.
on 2005 SmackDown and just binge because it's like the best year. You have Angle going off a beam
Hmm.
right before he goes to Impact.
Yeah.
But yeah, next week, definitely, I am down to do.
Yeah, I think we could talk some Cena memories for sure. I mean, hey, when else are we gonna do it?
There's plenty of moments to choose from.
Yeah, yeah. So look out for that one if you are tapped into the last time is now. Unfortunately, it is not the last time we're doing this whole friendship stuff on AEW because first of all, my biggest issue with this whole segment is that Lance Archer and Hechicero did not shut down the club with that $1 million. So I got a question of why did this not happen?
I don't know, but Hechicero came out looking dripped up with Alexander, though.
He said, I don't need this money. I got my own money.
Look
But
at this. I got my own.
maybe next week, because they're in Atlanta next week. Lance Archer and Hechicero are going to Magic City.
You're going to go to Magic City. King of Diamonds, baby. Go to King of Diamonds.
Let's go, dude.
But yeah, I don't. This segment pissed me off, man. Like, I'm not even going to try to hold it. I don't want face Young Bucks. But like we said last week, if this is Kenny's curtain, not curtain, but if this is his, like, he knows he's slowing down, he wants to wrestle with his friends, cool. But man, this was weird. I didn't like any of this.
Yeah, because it's also like now Jurassic Express are in this too. They're just feuding with the Bucks anyways, which that seems kind of soon.
Well, and like, during that feud, though, Jack Perry was still trying to help the Bucks. So, like, they were
Maybe,
planting
yeah,
they were planting the seeds there, but at that point, we didn't care. Like,
right.
I wanted heel Jack Perry, but I still want my Frankenstein's monster Jack Perry. Like, hey, but I guess I'm not getting Marco Stunt back because he's out selling cars.
Right. Yeah, I got nothing on that stuff. I mean, what's the end game there though? Do you just do like a
That's what I'm saying.
5-on-5?
You're gonna do Don Callis family versus the Elite Express? I don't know. Like,
I'm like, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, Kenny's in Fletcher's orbit, which I'm assuming they're running that match before this is all said and done. They wrote Kenny off before All Out because of Fletcher.
so we're gonna get Kenny and Fletcher at World's End.
Well, the problem with that is that I just don't see a reality where Fletcher's not in the semifinal.
Yeah, see, you kind of backed yourself in a corner there.
He's tied up with this tournament stuff. So what's the immediate future? I mean, you don't need Fletcher. There's like 30 fucking people in this
And
Don Callis faction.
I get trying to like find story in between the tournament stuff, but like you said, there's 9 million people in this family, but you got Okada and Fletcher now in this feuding with them still, but they're in a tournament. Okada's the defending fucking champion, which I have a couple questions. You probably understand.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I don't think I have the answer.
Okay, we'll get there because there was a promo about it, and I
Yeah.
wrote that down. I said I'm not forgetting this. I need to ask because I don't know what any of that meant.
I
But
tried to listen attentively, and I still got nothing. But yeah,
yeah, no,
stick a pin in that.
yeah, we'll stick a pin in. But yeah, I don't know what you do, man. Like you already did blood and guts. There's no reason to do that here. You know what I'm saying? You run a normal 4-on-4. No, sorry, 5-on-5 with.
Hmm.
But like you said, how do you do that when you got your two biggest aces in the family are in fucking the tournament?
And 3 if you count the cash though.
True, but he's not feuding, and he's staying away from this.
He's like Don Callis adjacent at this point until
Yeah.
they kick him out. So
He's gonna save Omega
probably.
because yeah, this makes sense chronologically. Like, aren't Takeshi and Omega friends too? Like they're.
I mean, they go all the way back. Like Omega's like a mentor
DDT, right?
because of DDT. Yeah, which
Yeah.
he may have trained him, but don't quote me on that.
I seen a young picture of Takeshita and I laughed.
Yeah,
I
because
said,
he's like
man.
Yeah, he's like where he's got like the biker shorts on.
Yeah, I said my guy. But that's another company I would really sidebar want to dive into is DDT because I feel like I
Yeah.
would love a lot of it.
DDT's such a mixed. Like the whole point of it is that it's a mixed bag.
It's just it's something for like literally everybody at that point.
So I mean, I basically do this every promotion now, but basically DDT is you just got to find out who your guys are because there's like, if you remember Shinya Aoki, we were watching over WrestleMania weekend.
That's
He's
that's where I like the DDT and GCW or the DDT show and the collective is when I got me locked in. So I was like, yo, I like this. This is hilarious. And then they had good matches on top of that.
Yeah, and it's like Shinya Aoki's like as straight shooter as you get. Like he's a literal shooter, fought MMA, and he does the most like grounded mat based matches you could ask for, where like everything has to be earned, everything's a struggle, and like his finisher's a full Nelson into a pin, right? But then you got guys like Super Sasadango Machine, who's like his gimmick is like dango, like the food, or like Kazuki Hirata, who does dance parties during his matches.
Is Kikataro in DDT? Or is that his name?
He's not in DDT. He shows up in some Dragon Gate shows though, but Kikutaro's still around.
Oh, I love that dude. I met him one time
That's amazing.
because he was at Starcast. Like he was just walking around.
That is amazing.
I said I didn't get a picture with him because I don't ever like to ask because unless I'm paying you because that's me.
Mhm.
I'm gonna pay you. But I was like I dapped him up though. I said, hey, this is awesome.
Yeah, or like I'm sure you're familiar with Yoshihiko.
Yeah,
Yeah. So like, and then like,
Yoshihiko's the doll, right? Or the
Yeah.
wrestling dummy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's such a mixed bag, and you kind of just
feel
gotta
like
find your.
Like this, we're going off a tangent, but it's okay. We got to power.
Yeah,
out
yeah,
here.
it's fine. Yeah, it's
I
fine.
feel like GCW got a lot of their ideas from DDT because they did like the Joey Janela Spring Break. A lot of his stuff came from like DDT esque because they do like the Invisible Man versus the Invisible Man, which was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like people hated it, but I'm like, yeah, but I get it. It's not for everyone, but I enjoyed it.
That was like that Bryce referee that match, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was all. Yeah,
Bryce made that match. Like that
I was gonna say that's a ref show if I've ever seen one.
and then he got the crowd into it, and it was good, man. So like.
I don't think I watched any Invisible Man this year. I definitely, since I started doing the channel, I've watched a couple Invisible Man matches in DDT. Oh man, one thing I will say too is like Jun Akiyama's there, like still going strong, and because you think of Jun Akiyama and it's like tail end of like the All Japan boom, focal point when Noah started, just like one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, straight up. And then he's in a TLC match in DDT, but it's toys, ladders, and chairs. So they're doing Lego bumps.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Jun Akiyama's like he fits in there really well because he can have like a spectacular wrestling match with like Kazusada Higuchi, which if you remember him, he was on that DPW show from Japan, and then like he could do the goofy stuff with the toys, ladders, and chairs, and like his feud with the sauna club and all that. But there's so much to it. But like off the top of my head, Harashima, Kazusada Higuchi, Shinya Aoki, like just world class pro wrestlers, and every now and then, if you get the right matchup, you'll get a fantastic match. So I think DDT's one to just check the cards, you know. Excuse me.
Yes.
If something looks interesting, go for it.
Yeah, that was me. Like if I see one match on something that catches my, if I know one person, I'm tuning in just because I know at least once I'm gonna like something. So
They actually just ran very end of November, so like a couple days ago, they ran Shinya Aoki versus Takeshita, which that sounds like a really interesting styles clash because Takeshita is like just this genetic freak, and he has all like the killer offense, and just he can move like crazy, and then he probably towers over Shinya Aoki, and then Shinya Aoki's punishing him on the mat. So like, I gotta go see that.
hell yeah, I want to definitely lock into more DDT now. But back to Wednesday night again. Sorry for our
Yeah,
tangents,
hey
people.
man, hey, it's a pro wrestling podcast though, and some of these promotions, even if they are like bigger promotions, they still go
Yeah.
underrepresented in these kind of things. So I have no problem talking about it. So,
Everything's pro wrestling adjacent, so we're fine.
yeah.
I will say that Klon's ring attire is atrocious, by the way.
Yeah, he was looking crazy. I mean, I know he looks crazy in general, but like I don't know if they want him covering up his tattoos to like not give it away. But
Yeah,
I'm
he
pretty sure
looked
he's already
crazy.
I'm pretty sure he's already shown his tattoos on TV. So
He
like we
did
know
when
it's
he first came out. He ripped off the thing. I'm pretty sure his tattoos were out.
yeah. So I don't know what the hell's going on with all that. I feel like he's just gonna kind of be aura forming until Hologram's healthy.
Yeah, but this match, I want to talk about a match I didn't care for.
Yeah, which I was let down by this because, and I say that just because the AW Women's Division has a really good track record with these types of matches.
Yeah, I don't think this match fit these four ladies.
No,
I,
no. So
I will say, before we start, one of my new favorite theme songs is Death Rider's Marina Shafir.
she has a cool song, and I honestly love the Mina Tony routine.
Yeah, that's all. I love that because
It fits them to a T.
yeah, and I understand like Megan Bain and Marina were just kind of thrown together last minute. It feels like, but man,
The booking just seems all strange here. So let's talk about it though. Mina and Tony do win this match to go to an all babyface tournament final. Right. And I totally get the heels getting their comeuppance for blood and guts. Like that doesn't necessarily bother me, but I just don't understand what like I mean, look, if you're doing it in the quote unquote sports based presentation, yes, it's likely that two babyfaces will meet in a tournament final simply because it's competition. It's not, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But the way that they've built up Bane and Shafir, it just feels like this was their spot. I feel like this just should have been the final. And it wasn't. So I don't know if they had to change something or what. I know there was multiple injuries in general between Penelope Ford going down a couple months ago and Queen Aminata's untimely injury, which she is pulled from Final Battle. She is not cleared.
yeah, it sucks.
Because again, we can't have anything nice.
Can't have nothing nice, but when she comes back, it's over for you hoes.
Yeah, so I don't think this was a terrible match by any means. I think the problem is, like I said, the track record with these plunger brawls in the AW Women's Division, they usually knock these out of the park. So I've just found this one underwhelming in comparison. Think about like
Because it didn't have
it was,
Sky Blue in it.
or think about like the one 2 years ago. You remember when like Stat and Willow were doing the Pulp Fiction thing?
Yeah, who they face?
Diamante
Oh, I thought it was
and
Sky Blue. Damn it.
uh,
I'm an advocate for Sky Blue.
it was Diam.
Was it Diamante and okay, I don't know.
Oh, Mercedes Martinez,
Okay, yeah.
which she's not exactly like Marina, but she's very much also like, well, she's just an indie legend in general, but no nonsense ass kicker type.
Yeah.
And something I think of something like that compared to this, or like the one where I know Willow was doing power bombs off the stage. Maybe they're just missing Will Nightingale in the match, but I like the stuff with the glass. The frying pan I enjoyed a lot. I mean, also because watching a bunch of early ECW, somebody kept bringing a frying pan to the ECW arena, so that made me feel good about that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is kind of washed over me, and I was numb to a lot of it.
I woke back up when Luther came back.
Luther
Luther,
Claus, dude.
Luther Claus, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not mad because either way, we're gonna have a good it's gonna be a good finals. But now I just hope that the Babes of Wrath win at this point. Give Harley Cameron her comeuppance at this point.
I just This is just so strange to me because on paper, Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron
It would
act
have
as a
been
great it
it would
acts as
have
a great foil to Bane and
yes,
Shafir.
it would have been a bigger pop from them. Think about Cameron pinning Megan Bane or Marina. Just one of them.
Or even just the idea of Harley on the receiving end of control from these two killers, Willow getting the big hot tag and clearing house, like this is basic stuff. I don't know how that flips when it's Mina and Tony on the other side. Not that I don't like them as wrestlers, but just I don't know. It's very strange. I don't get this decision. Other than in the context of these two teams, yes, like they got one over on them in Blood and Guts. Tony Storm needs to get her lick back, you know? Still, though, man, this is just very, very strange. But it is what it is. I understand that these types of matches aren't going to hit every single time, especially when we're coming off of Blood and Guts only a few weeks ago. But, yeah, unfortunately, this was not everything it could have been, in my opinion.
Yeah, not their best work.
Moving on, though, we did get to the Dark Order segment. And they specifically told Hangman, like they pretty much said what we were all thinking. Like, yeah, we don't get TV time much anymore, so like just don't mess with the match. Like, we have a chance here to get a title shot. Which makes sense. Hangman still with chain over his shoulder, no swerve in sight at this point.
Yeah, and this is the one where they're walking in the back, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, then once I seen Evil Uno, I popped. So I'm a big Super Smash Brothers fan. So
Oh yeah.
anytime I see Evil Uno, on TV, it's awesome because I feel like they work. So I wish Stu Grayson was still like the company, but seeing Evil Uno just be on TV, like it made my heart happy.
Yeah.
I met
I
them.
think
They
it
were
was
the nicest people ever. Sidebar.
I think it was last year. I was chilling in a server I was watching with some friends. Them versus the Bucks and Reseda.
Man, it was a ladder match they were in for the tag belts. It was one of my early PWG DVDs I had, and I was like, who are these guys?
Mm-hmm.
And I was, man, I forgot I just call it the Get Over Here, where they do the cannonball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love these dudes.
Going back to backstage, or returning to backstage, Mercedes is on TV for the first time since losing to Stat, and unfortunately, it was very much just boilerplate Mercedes promo.
Yeah, copy and paste.
To the point where I plus 10, I'll be real.
Yeah, this was the Underhook plus 10 of the night.
Yeah. But I am excited for the return match with Red Velvet. Also, it's gonna be Mercedes' first time ever in Ring of Honor, which under different circumstances, maybe that could have happened years ago, but hey, timing's everything, right?
I think Red Velvet taking that belt back.
I think she should, and I don't think this would be the worst time for Mercedes to start losing belts. But
that's what I'm saying. So in my thought process, she lost to Stat, or she can't beat Stat. She can't get the big one. So now she's gonna lose all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's her downfall, and then she's gonna turn into timeless Mercedes Monet. Stoke, FTR, the FTR
Stoke
next,
promo.
right?
I love how Stoke opened the promo where it's like, "This is the greatest day of my life because I woke up in FTR champions."
Yeah,
that's how I felt about Joe winning again.
Yeah, that was me. It was like Christmas morning came early for us.
Yeah, right. But
also, Christmas morning came early because Juice Robinson has his mullet back.
Oh yeah. Earth is healing. Finally, more FTR Bang Bang Gang stuff. Which yes, count me in. I know it won't be the same match as FTR Guns or FTR versus Jay and Juice, But I mean, there's enough common denominators here where this should be pretty good.
And they keep mentioning Jay White's name. He's
Jay
coming
White's
back.
he's been fucking with everybody. I think it was before Wrestle Dream he tweeted, are you guys ready?" Didn't come back. Morning of Full Gear, he retweeted his own tweet.
Baby boy, what if he comes back? World's end. Why? I don't know. But
I'll be real happy to see him, man.
I'm punching who's ever in front of me. So sorry. I get excited sometimes.
The areas I inhabit in, and as far as like wrestling discussion on the internet, there are some very extreme opinions of Jay White, and I tend to just label myself a truther because I really do like Jay White, and I think AEW would be better for it, like with him back. I think he fucked up his hand or something, if I'm not mistaken. So I hope he's good, and I think it's time, man. I think whatever plans they had for him this year, they weren't able to fully flesh out. You know, he's been gone for a while. Feels like.
I feel like it's been at least a year, right?
No, he's wrestled this year for sure. He was one of Kevin Knight's first matches in AEW.
Okay, yeah. So I know he's been gone for a really, when King Switch ain't on there, it feels like forever.
His last match actually was that Kevin Knight match.
That's crazy.
And he went over a month. It was the Australian match. And then a month later, he wrestled Kevin Knight. So he must have been nursing that injury for a while. So, hope he's all good.
I think he's going to come, because I just keep mentioning his name. So I was like, say his name, he appears. I believe in Jay White.
I actually have next to me the ringside exclusive Jay White in the red.
That's on sale right now for Cyber Monday 2.0, and I'm thinking about it.
It's a great figure. I'll tell you that much. Like they did a great job with it. So I'll send you some in hands.
There's some crazy deals on there.
Yeah, I gotta do some Christmas shopping and might get myself a couple things, but definitely gotta tap into that. That's the best time to shop there when they're blowing stuff out, because you can get like the ringside exclusives with the original packaging for like really good prices. I got Mill. Again, another tangent, but we only got them a couple matches left. I got Mill the Tony Storm in the black and white.
It's like $12 right now.
And I made sure to get him Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, I got a side note before we get back on there. I did buy do you ever see the AEW Ultimate, or whatever it's called, the Supreme Will Ospreay, where he's throwing up the UE hands?
Yeah, I didn't realize that was out yet.
Well, yeah, it's out. And I got it for like $28 on Cyber Monday. I was happy.
Oh, shit, because I figured eventually I'm sure I'll end up with an Osprey, but I would definitely want him with the coat, you know?
That's what I'm saying. I grabbed that one. First, they had the other one for $20, but there's no coat. I was like, no, I need to get up.
Yeah, man. Need the swag, dude. Need the swag. Which, tying this back into the Ops, because there's an Ops match next, but Joe did not have the swag on, and he said Indiana did not deserve it. And living here, probably can't argue that.
It was probably colder than shit down there. I get it.
Yeah. So, but Ops versus Dark Order, we all knew this would be an extended squash, and that's exactly what it was. Did not expect it to be such a Hook showcase, but
yeah, I feel they're trying.
They're trying, which seems weird because I guess it would be the Hangman's promo would come later, but Hangman kind of like big league the fuck out of Hook when like while they're trying to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, I wrestled Osprey. I was talking about this thing. He's like, I wrestled Osprey and Fletcher, and then you think about him having to go through Moxley and all this stuff, and he's like, and it was Hook who did this shit. Mixed signals there with the whole Hook experiment. I mean, I like squash matches, so like I didn't mind this at all.
We knew it was coming.
Dark Order getting the TV paycheck, so good for them.
And Evil Uno was chopping Hobbs before he got killed, so it was fine.
Yeah, Hobbs is so awesome, dude.
Yes, I got on those. Yes,
That's our analysis of the match. Hobbs fucking rules.
Yeah, how'd you rate the match? Hobbs kicks ass. Like
yes. That's our assessment.
And Shibata and Hook were there too. Like Shibata didn't even do anything.
You can get him a night off. He's been through enough.
I mean, he was the first one to get hit with fucking when Adam Page came out. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So no Swerve this week, which is interesting. My issue with that though is like I still don't understand their common cause here. Because Hangman clearly has a problem with everybody in the Ops now. We've known this. He has an issue with Hook because of the pay-per-view. What's Swerve's business with all these guys?
Yeah.
That's just what I want to know, which I'm sure that's coming. And we're probably getting the Hangman Swerve tag team match at the pay-per-view, which would, assuming if Joe's defending, it'll be Hobbs and Hook. So
Yeah, unless Swerve is just after the title, and then common enemy,
yeah,
like the enemy of
yeah,
my
enemy of
enemy
my
is my
enemy is my
friend.
friend. Yeah, I guess we'll know after the Eddie defense. So I guess just wait and see. Now we can take that pin out of what we were complaining about earlier, because Don Callis saying you guys are all stupid. The unified title is just like essentially a placeholder. So
But
because the Continental Classic is for the Continental title, that doesn't mean it's for the international title. If you've noticed, Okada's wearing the international title. He's no longer wearing the unified title. So why'd you have a new belt made?
yeah, my head hurts.
This shit makes no sense.
I
Look,
said, I felt like Zach Galifianakis with a bunch of numbers behind me when like trying to figure this out.
dog.
And then I was just like, I didn't know I had to do math to figure out why this man had 2 titles.
Yeah, look, like I don't play this card often because I understand AEW is much looser in nature with things, and other things exist in this world as far as like different promotions where wrestler can do one-offs and all this other stuff. Like they're not gonna hold your hand like how WWE would, right?
Yeah.
This just seems like I can't tell if it's just a massive oversight or if this makes sense to Tony Khan and nobody else.
I think he just fucked up. He's trying to figure it out.
Because this is the second time that Continental belt has been part of a Triple Crown, but this one, the Eddie one, felt more like a Triple Crown than this one does, because it's like a new championship was created, but then now that the belts are not together, that championship's no longer can. Like dude, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this.
Yeah, me either.
It's not the end of the world, like because the tournament's gonna go on, and hell, I love that international title design. So if that's still like a thing, but and on top of that, they brought in this national title, which is designed to be defended in other promotions and overseas, which was what the international title was supposed to, like. Dog, I'm like Charlie Day with the blood spat strings right now.
There is no Pepe Silva, all right?
Right.
Like this. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm gonna hold faith until we figure it out. So
I'm gonna ask Don Callis, what's your spaghetti policy?
yeah, I don't get it. Either way,
Yeah, so then we get the then we get the Hangman promo I was alluding to before. He didn't mention Swerve by name, and I don't know if that means there's somebody else in mind or if Hangman's just being like he's not going to say his name, you know. But
yeah, because he still doesn't like him.
yeah, right. But again, we got to figure out why they're working together, because Death Riders thing, that kind of is self-explanatory of them holding the company hostage. This feels a little bit more personal between Joe and Hangman and everybody else. So I just want to know. It's not a criticism, more of a curiosity of like what's the kayfabe reason for this happening, you know? So then we had the Renee reporting. What do they call it? On site.
Yo, I love this. This was awesome.
I prefer more of this. I remember like this type of stuff. If you remember the Danielson Kingston match from last year on pay-per-view, she was doing like these like sideline reporter stuff during the entrances, and it just made the match feel so much bigger, right? So I love this. I hope they keep doing it with the Continental rules and all that, like they did, because again, this is just some of the most efficient stuff that AEW does on the calendar.
I have a lot of stuff in my theory. We'll talk about it after this match.
Yes, and I have a lot to say about this match. So
Hell yeah.
Claudio Castagnoli defeats Jon Moxley. We did not get the turn yet.
It's coming. Oh, it's coming.
But before the actual betrayal, Jon Moxley worked this match as a babyface.
And it, whew, this was Fletch and Kevin Knight was my match of the night. But this is definitely up there. Just because this is the underhook. This is for the boys.
Yes, 100%.
But man, these two beat the piss out of each other, and not even like where they were like a death match. It was hard hitting. This is what I wanted.
Yeah. You know, structurally, they laid this out to where it started cordial, And as we've seen, this is just going to be me waxing poetic about Jon Moxley again, although I thought Claudio was great in this match. And I think now with this match too, nobody's talking about Claudio's TV catalog this year. I think it's severely underrated, which I'll compile all that stuff once I have the data in front of me.
And don't worry, once we get to our end of the year gig, we'll have more to talk about Moxley, I bet, at the end.
Probably for me at this point, man, because
he's I'm saying it now. It's what, December 4th?
It's the 4th.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna. Jon Moxley's my wrestler of the year for 2025, man. Like, hands down. Like, I don't like. There's no way you can't say that.
I don't disagree. Like I said, I got like a whole lot more stuff outside of America that I gotta keep track of. But I mean, it's this type of performance though that like is exactly what I've been talking about. Because look at the layout of the match. They start mat based, and Claudio's just wiping the floor with him. Technically, Moxley once again knows he's fucked. So then that's when he starts incorporating all the strikes and stuff like that, and like ringing at the ears and all like the gross like Death Rider stuff that we all know and love. It feels like, you know, Moxley kind of metaphorically gives Claudio that shove, and then Claudio just knocks him on his ass, because then it's like Moxley's like, all right, no, we're turning this into a fight. Claudio goes, all right, Ben, I'm swinging you into the stairs while the stairs are at a 90-degree angle.
We're you're blading. You know you're blading, Mox. Let's do it, baby. But
something else, I'm sure that the turn was always going to lead to a babyface turn. Second match in a row, Moxley's done a tope. He ain't been doing that much these days.
And Claudio said, "I'm not selling for that, brother."
No, he did not move.
Yeah, and then I just can't. It's coming. I'm thinking it's gonna happen when we're there, and I don't know how you pull it off, but it's gonna be Danielson-esque turn.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, I gotta see all my favorite wrestlers killed at Hoffman Estates.
I mean, you gotta think, man, it's history rewrites itself there, you know? It happened to Danielson, it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, back to Danielson, his commentary was very, like, forgiving to Mox, too, if he kind of, you know, like...
oddly sympathetic when normally Danielson just wouldn't say anything. So maybe him giving Darby the bag was kind of his closure.
Yeah.
But that also might indicate Danielson's not ready to go in any capacity.
And I will say, like, I was a little worried, like, after All in Texas, I was kind of worried about, like, where they would go with the Death Rider storytelling. And I'm glad they haven't fallen off with it, because now this is still interesting to see what's going to happen. Because we all know that the turn's going to come, but how does it come? Because, like, the way that they're showing, like, they're videotaping their response or their, like, reactions to certain things. Oh, man. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah. There was some other things in this match that were interesting to me. It was, again, I mentioned this site last week, but Matt from Segunda Caída wrote about this match, and he pointed out that Moxley had a bulldog choke in, but because he bled so much, he couldn't keep the hold on. Like the blood allowed Claudio to slip out of it, which that alone is an awesome detail, because it's just like Moxley's becoming his own worst enemy in every sense of the word now. And he did flip the crowd, which is insane to think about coming into the year, where, like, when you think about how people felt about Moxley, how people felt about the Death Riders, which, again, a lot of that was because he was in a 3-month long feud with Cope. But, like, when I talk about Jon Moxley being the best wrestler in the world, is like, he just had a whole month straight of being the biggest coward. Now immediately he's starting to flip the crowd again when it's time. That plays into the story of the match, though, because it felt like when they were in their corners, but right before the time call, Mox was trying to, like, feed off of the crowd. And then Claudio just took his head off and won.
My man said, ball game. He just knocked him.
Now, Mox doesn't get pinned a lot. Him putting over the uppercut like that, I really loved.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It knocked him clean out. Took the pin.
Swiss death, dude. And on Claudio's side of things, like, obviously he's going to hit a bunch of those, but it felt like he was working at it, but it almost felt like a certainty. Like, where it's like, okay, one of these is going to bring Moxley down. So then they gave you that little bit of a pause of like, holy shit, they're in their corners. Or like maybe like we're getting the time call. This might go to a draw. Nope, over.
Yeah.
Done.
And
Claudio just without blinking just ends the match.
me and Josh had money. We're like, it's gonna be a draw, right? Like that's how you do it. Like that's how you set up. Like, and then they said 5 minutes remaining, and we're like, yeah, it's a draw. Never mind.
But before you could say that sentence, it was over.
Yeah.
Really love the finish. Really love how I think Mox actually got a standing ovation after they went off of the air.
Yeah, he did a bow to the crowd. He did everything.
Like we're getting the babyface ace run soon, I believe. But I also think we're gonna have to see Jon Moxley earn everyone's trust again. Because if you remember when Ospreay left and he gave his kind of farewell promo before surgery, he goes, "Yeah, I'm coming back for you, Jon Moxley." So like there's going to be all sorts of loose threads that they are going to have to tie up, and I'm still compelled to see what the rest of the tournament looks like. This man does not take any days off. He's wrestling Konosuke Takeshita on Saturday.
And then Claudio wrestling the Garada, right?
Yeah. Which interesting wrinkle there is like Moxley barely beat him. Claudio comes rocking up with a title from his promotion. So in a way, it feels like Claudio's just silently elevating himself while the walls have been closed in on Moxley for months. Like this dynamic between these two has been awesome, and I honestly couldn't believe that this was their first match in AEW one-on-one. And maybe that speaks more to Claudio as kind of being like the loyalty, the walk behind her, as people have called him. So he wrestled Danielson once in this tournament that did go to a draw, but he beats Moxley here. So Claudio's 2-0. Like, this is very interesting to keep track of. But I love this match. I absolutely adored what Moxley brought to this match. And I think Claudio did everything he needed to come out of this match just looking like an absolute murderer.
And then Marina just giving him the look of death.
Mm-hmm.
They alluded to, I think it was Tony Schiavone alluded, he's like, that they all came out with Claudio, but only Marina came out with Mox.
That's the exact point I was going to make next. I'll say for those keeping track at home, everybody walked out Claudio except for Marina, which I wonder what that looks like on a night where they're not wrestling on the same night.
Same.
Because they stagger the blocks every now and then. So I want to see if they do. But the first two nights, Claudio and on Saturday, Claudio and Moxley scheduled on the same night. So you still get that degree of separation between the rest of the group. I can't commend them enough. I understand that there was the problems at the beginning of the year, and I understand we're kind of reaching the peak here, and the I'm assuming end of the faction, or at least a retool of the faction. But after Moxley losing the belt, they've kept the Death Riders thing so interesing.
Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make too. Like, sorry, I cut you off, but
no, I was saying the matches have been great.
That's what I say. It's all been great. All like they didn't slow down. Like, and that's because they know that Claudio, Mox, like those are your neck. Like Mox is your ace. Claudio's your back pocket. Obviously, like Claudio is the workhorse. I think we talked about it too though. Can he be the main point of a faction, the leader? Because he's always kind of been like the enforcer.
Yeah.
Unless you make Marina the leader.
That's what I want to see too, because like Claudio's in position here. I mean, he always does well in these tournaments, and then he'll hit his kind of his roadblock, whether it's Darby or Eddie or whatever. And that's all good booking. But I want to see now, like, just how far are they willing to commit to Claudio? Because you and I are here for that. Like, I would love to see like a main event run for him. That's something people have wanted for like over a decade now.
I want Claudio to be the world champion I'm hoping within the next like 2 years.
I would love it, man. So we'll see if they actually do. I don't think it's crazy to say, if not world title, I mean, one of these kind of, whatever the unified spot, like the 1A spot is,
I guess that'd be TNT, maybe.
Yeah, at this point. Hey, man, Claudio Briscoe would go hard.
I mean, I think they already did it before, so.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, whether it's Kings of Wrestling or singles, it's always, I mean, those are two of the best you could find, so. Yeah, but brilliant match. I absolutely loved how Moxley changed his style for this one and telegraphed where we're going. And I actually watched this match twice. That's how excited I was. They kind of just went off the air after that, but thankfully, I think this is what benefits us doing the show a day later. Did you see what they filmed?
No.
So they filmed. They were following Claudio backstage. He goes into their locker room, and it's like all the Death Riders doing push-ups, and he just goes back to training with them and talks about how we're all trying to outrun our past. It's paraphrasing.
Yeah.
Outrunning your past, I think that definitely telegraphs Moxley's face turn. But at least for now, things are civil in their ranks. Obviously, it's not like it's clearly coming, but it's not happening yet.
I will say the picture of Claudio giving Mox the swing and Mox giving him the bird, classic.
Hard as fuck. Just, yeah. Hell yeah.
And I don't know if we might have talked over it. They did discuss the Diamond Battle Royal coming back, huh? But no,
Oh yeah, I did gloss over
no,
that.
no
Or I
mention,
didn't.
no mention of MJF though.
That's the interesting thing because he still has that damn contract. So, like, hypothetically, if he does win the ring and then he has the contract, is that 2 title shots?
That's what I'm saying. It's weird. You backed your.
I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back by obligation and loses in some fashion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you do there. You have way too many things to give title matches around these parts right now.
Yeah, so did they say the dates are out? I gotta find.
Yeah, they announced everything. They announced December 17th, I think, is the Diamond Battle Royal. Because that's a 3-hour one, so we're gonna have to talk about our plan of attack on that.
Yeah.
That's the one from England. Yeah, the 17th. They've done this 7 times already? Jesus.
Yeah, they're every year. Okay, yeah. So the 17th, and then they're gonna do the singles match on the Hammerstein tapings. What you get out of that though is you'll know who's wrestling for the world title coming out of World's End because they're doing the special on the 14th of January. So I do think though, I think you see MJF come back. It's been 3 months, but I think something's gonna happen. I don't know if he gets screwed in the Battle Royal. I mean, I think that's the best way to protect him. I don't see him losing, getting pinned clean as soon as he comes back. Because now I think you did kind of book yourself into a corner where he has to lose the ring. He also has the contract, unless you just retcon the contract, which I wouldn't be mad, but that'd be 2 years in a row where it's just been like this anchor, you know?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna retcon it. I don't know what you do. Other than, make sure the Beast Mortos and Brody King are in this Diamond Battle Royal, okay?
Yeah. That was Dynamite. I thought this was another good TV. Maybe not as strong as last week, but the tournament matches delivered. And I'm really looking forward to Saturday.
I'm locking into that mainly for Roddy and Orange Cassidy because I got to see Rod Dog.
Yeah, and every Moxley Takeshita match has been great. I don't think they've had a bad match. And then Dorada Claudio, everyone talks about Claudio being one of the best bases for Lucha offense, and Dorada's the Lucha offense guy right now. So, I mean, shit, sign me up. That Blue League is incredible. Before we get to Saturday, though, you want to run through the final battle card?
Absolutely.
This is the night before, so by the time you hear this, it'll probably be before the show starts. December 5th in Columbus, Ring of Honor final battle. Some strange choices, to say the least. But okay, so going top to bottom on cage match, vacant tag team title match.
Why is the tag titles vacant? Who had the tag? I thought LFI had the tag title.
So I'll preface this. Roosh is out for a long time. He has a serious injury right now. The main event of this show is supposed to be Roosh Bandito.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's how we're back to the titles being vacant. I thought it was like a Freebird rule thing. I don't know. But anyways.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is what I don't get.
Because I just looked at the main event and then I looked at this match and I'm like, okay.
Adam Priest and Tommy Billington. So Adam Priest, welcome to the final battle. Yeah. Against Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortos. You get some Adam Priest, Beast Mortos.
And I fuck with Tommy Billington. So
yeah, Dynamite Kid. So, which, I mean, I would guess. I mean, do you have Sammy and the Beast Mortos win the tag belts to just main event?
No. Give Adam Priest, give it to him.
Yeah. Put the belts on any style. will be
Listen,
good.
if it was anybody else in Beast Mortos, I would say that team. But I'm tired of Sammy Guevara. All right, I'm tired of that little man.
Yep. So, non-title match. I thought this was for the pure title, but they're going non-title. But Nigel McGuinness is wrestling in a 30-minute Iron Man match in 2025.
Against Lee Moriarty again. Let's go, baby. Tiger style.
Yep, I'm here for this. And I think after Nigel went either 15 or 20 with Zach at Forbidden Door, maybe he's up. I mean, he must be feeling up for it. So I want to see how he does. I liked their match a lot last year between these two, and just Moriarty is somebody that they got to get him on TV, man. Like,
Man, it's in Columbus, Ohio. We can make this, dog. Come on, let's go. We got
all right,
it.
but yeah, get over there. But another one we're both looking forward to: Ricochet, Dalton Castle. First time an AEW title is defended on a Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and nice little side quest for Ricochet because he doesn't have much going on after winning this thing. So I just want to see what this match looks like because, like, stylistically, these two are kind of polar opposites.
It's gonna be, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna remind me like an old 2017, 2016 Ring of Honor match that they just threw together on a card in Chicago Ridge. You know.
Yeah, just on a random TV taping, it'd be sick as hell.
Never forget, sidebar, but it has to do with Ring of Honor. My first Ring of Honor show was when Samoa Joe came back. He did that little tour when he first came back. It was Jay Lethal versus one of Cliff Compton, who is Duke and or Deuce Domino. I don't know which one he was, but
Holy shit!
I said this is the most random thing ever, but. All right.
That is incredible. Like when Joe was that like when he was on the dual contract with WWE.
Yeah. So right when before he went to NXT, he did like a couple of dates. He did it was called the Conquest Tour, and he did a couple of dates. I want to say he wrestled Mike Elgin, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but it was it was his first ROH show in Chicago since coming back to the Indies.
I mean, probably since like the Punk stuff.
Yeah, dude, it was.
Well, he stuck around a little later than that, but.
And that was my first Ring of Honor show. Was in there. I was on the floor for that. That was nuts.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've never been. I'm surprised I never done one of the Tony Khan Ring of Honor shows, like at Wintrust or something, because I feel like people would go. I mean, we would go.
I would go. I'd like it. I love Ring of Honor.
Yeah. I am looking forward to this Ricochet, which Ricochet said it's his first time in Ring of Honor. That can't be right.
There's no way. I'll
like just for how well traveled he is, you know. Because he was in New Japan during the partnership.
I want to say that him and Will Ospreay wrestled in Ring of Honor at some point because
honestly, I'm looking through this.
I don't see a Ring of Honor on here at all.
I'll be damned. He must have just did New Japan dates and then like PWG and stuff.
That's crazy. Okay, well.
Wow, fair play.
Touche.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see. Somebody else. Who else? Oh wait, Mercedes. So Mercedes and Ricochet both making their debuts here. We'll get to the Mercedes match in a bit, but the Pure Title tournament, I'm not sure what happened here. I have not been watching Billie Stark's Pure Rules matches, so I don't really know how she navigates that. Deanna seems more.
This is Deanna's title.
This seems more like her fit, yeah.
It seems like her title to win, so.
I was hoping for Deeb to be in this. Like the belt seems like it was made for Deeb, and Deeb lost to Yuka.
They said, nice try, kid.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't have minded Deanna versus Deeb here, to be honest.
Yeah, just like a real scientific style match. We'll see what Billy can do here. You know, we're high on Billy here.
It's okay.
Yeah. And basically, this is all just title matches from this point on. Shane Taylor Promotions defending against Skyflight, which I was wondering what happened to Top Flight. I keep forgetting they're in a faction with Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, they sure. I love Shane Taylor Promotions, so that's my pick.
Yeah, I mean Shane Taylor, incredibly underrated in general, and the Infantry are fun. So I think this might be maybe a little bit of a sleeper hit.
I've been a big Shane Taylor guy since the actual Ring of Honor days.
It's like
TK days.
When he was like the longest reigning TV champ.
Him and Keith Lee, baby.
Yeah.
And that's when I became a Keith Lee fan. Man, damn, I miss Keith Lee.
Me too. I hope he's doing well. Women's World Television title match, like I said, couple times on the show already. Mercedes Moné debuting in Ring of Honor, despite the fact that she's held this belt for a month or two now. Return fixture against Red Velvet. Return fixture, as we say in soccer, but I don't know. I could see her losing. I could see her defending.
I would like Red Velvet to win, just get her title back, but it's like Ultimo Monet.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun though. I think also having a little bit more time on the pay-per-view, maybe they'll get to do a little bit more than their first match, but I like their first match, so we'll see what they can do here. The match I am really excited for on the ladies' side of things, though, I think Athena Persephone might tear the house down.
Persephone's been on, I mean, she's in from CMLL, right?
Yeah.
But she's been like on Ring of Honor and AEW a lot lately, so.
Yeah, she's been featured, and I don't know. I just have a gut feeling that, I mean, Athena can get that out of a lot of people, but Persephone's on the up. She's been doing good things this year, and I also just feel like we're due for a really good Athena match, so I'm hoping this will be it.
Athena's also a liar, by the way. She
What's up?
said, Athena's a liar.
Yeah.
She said she was going to be on AEW a lot more. I haven't seen her since the tag tournament.
Yeah.
But that's also because you have her being your longest reigning women's Ring of Honor champion, and you don't want to. I mean, I get it.
The longest reigning Ring of Honor champion, period.
Yeah, it's like, I get it, but, bring her on over.
Yeah. Main event, which I would assume, although I wouldn't be mad with Athena main eventing, but I'm sure it's going to be the survival of the fittest for the world title. Bandito was supposed to defend this against Rush in a singles match. That obviously isn't happening now, so instead of finding a replacement, they threw everybody in here. So, Bandito defending against the Beast Mortos, Hechicero, Sammy Guevara, Commander, and Blake Christian.
They're going to give this fucking belt to Sammy Guevara.
Do you think from every time they play a clip of him saying, I'm going to be world champion?
I just I don't know. It's just like, it just feels like a thing they would do. Because I feel like this is where you're going to get the belt off of Bandito without him taking the pin, right?
I could see him lasting to the final two and then losing. I just don't know to who. I feel like they really like Commander and they want more for him. But I feel like just Bandito is like, he's really established himself this year with all rest of the year shouts and all the accolades and stuff like that. I could see it coming down to Bandito and Hechicero and then putting it on Hechicero for a little bit.
Bring more gold to the Don Callis.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell they do here. It probably will be Sammy Guevara.
That's my thing. I'm like, I feel like Adam Priest and Tommy Billington win the tag match over some fuckery, right? Like some miscommunication shit or whatever. Whatever have you. But I feel like Sammy Guevara rolls up Beast Mortos and pins him, eliminates him. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like it just feels like a thing they would do. Unless they say, fuck it, Bandito, you're just going to stay the champion, which I'm okay with too.
Because the way I was reading it, between the tag title match and this match, it seems like the LFI walking away from the show is like the top heel unit. And it really only leaves two people. I don't know.
I mean.
Well, if we had the choice, it'd be Beast Mortos. Like, I mean, if we had the choice, it'd be Beast Mortos anyways. But
I'm just saying. If y'all want to be cool, throw Beast Mortos that title. I mean, I wouldn't mind.
I guess the way I would put it, and we don't have to spend too much more time on this, but like, if you look at the lineage since Tony Khan took over, it was like Claudio, Jericho, Eddie Kingston, Mark Briscoe, Jericho, Bandito. And I just don't feel like anybody else in the match fits with that group.
We talking about Blake Christian, does it? Come on, man.
They're not belting up the white boy until they get the approval for the Jack Harlow song.
He's going to come out tonight, or tomorrow night. Watch, you're going to hear it. And then we're going to be like, fuck, he's going to win the title.
I guess on the media call, Tony Khan is saying how he's been trying to get it, just hasn't been able to.
It's going to happen, I'm telling you. He has a way.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to just take a wild guess. I feel like it's either going to be Sammy Guevara or Hechicero. Because Hechicero has a existing feud with Bandito. They obviously had the big match at Supercard, so we'll see.
My unfortunate pick is Sammy Guevara.
All right.
Who I
there
want.
You go.
Who we want, Beast Mortos.
Beast Mortos, yes. Frank Mortos.
Frank, attorney at law Mortos.
The living example of honor, you know?
I'm saying Mercedes is on this card, so definitely Beast Mortos winning this match. See, that's my.
Ooh, that's a good shout, yeah. There you go.
It's just gonna be Sammy Guevara.
Hey, we said 6 months ago, Mercedes, start pulling your strings and belt up our boys. So maybe that's what's gonna happen.
What's up, Mr. Beast Frank Mortos?
Mr. Beast Mortos Bar. Right, well, until we get through any more brain rot here, that's pretty much it for this week. I don't have anything to plug on my end. I don't know if you do.
I have nothing, my friend.
So yeah, I think we'll just enjoy the weekend. I know we went hour and a half, but that's fine. We went on some tangents. We had a lot of fun, so that's all that matters.
Fun. Always enjoy doing this.
Hell yeah. So yeah, next week we'll come back. We'll talk about the tournament matches from Saturday and everything that goes on the Winter is Coming TV special, including Samoa Joe's first defense of the AEW World Title against Eddie Kingston. So keep it locked here for that. Until next time, for Steve and for Chris, thank you for listening.
See ya.